So welcome for season 2. We are living out louder. I am your host, Dave Vargas, emanating from New Bedford, Massachusetts. This is a show about awakening, healing, creating, and transforming. And kicking off season 2 with me tonight to bridge the gap between the seen and the unseen and the energy of love. I have with me tonight one of America's most loved psychic mediums, the author of Speaking to Heaven, the metaphysical teachings of Jesus, and is there more to life than what we know? I want to welcome Joseph LoBrutto with me tonight. Welcome, Joseph.
Thanks for having me, Dave. It's a pleasure being on tonight and an honor. Yeah, there you go. I see your Facebook's working.
Yes. And yes. And well, with all that's been going on, I do want to go and tap into that. And Joseph, is there more to life than what we know?
Life is always a challenge, and 2020 is, clear vision. We're put on to, it's almost like a test for all of us. It seems like everything that can go wrong will go wrong in 2020. And we have to look at it as a lesson in life. And what have we learned from this? It'll be in our past. This will soon be over. It'll be in our past. And years from now, we'll kind of look back and remember back in 2020, when things were going wrong for us, losing jobs, COVID. So take time to go in within yourself, to analyze the things you have done in your life and what you can do to help yourself become a better person or for spiritual growth. It's very important. So this is the year really to reflect upon yourself and making a plan. Where do I see myself in the future? What do I need to do now to change the whole outcome? I know myself, I started my 4th book. So I have all this free time quarantine. And so I started writing my 4th book now. And pretty much with all my travels from Peru to Mexico, Brazil to see John of God. And I'm putting all those stories together now. And so that gives me time. And this whole Zoom world's all new to me. Everyone used to ask me to come online. And I was always too busy because I was always on the road doing my events. So I never really had time to do all this. And now I have all this equipment and lighting and cameras. And, it looks like a little studio in here. So, and that's just how things just change because of everything.
Yes, it's a beautiful opportunity for all of us to connect in a much bigger way. And I also believe that of this year as well. This year has proved to be all of the toxicity and the things that are not of love of coming up to the surface. And it's a great time for healing, that we're not distracted by roles of being at a workplace or things like that. And at first it could be very scary and terrifying, but it also gives you a beautiful chance to really see what you value.
The earth was put here for a reason, for duality, good, bad. And we were put here for free will, to choose and to grow and to learn. And whatever path we take, it's our responsibility, it's our choice. We have the choice to take what path we need. It's a learning experience. It's what we learn from it. And so 2020 is, like I said, a learning experience. And this is why there's a lot of negativity in this world. This is why, especially here in the United States, has never been like this, with all the protests and the looting and the COVID and the deaths. And it's just an experience we have never had to experience before. And so it gives us time now to reflect of who we are and what type of country. And our country can fall. And we're not, we can be like a third world country too. So we have to work at it, and we have to get stronger, and we have to see what is good for ourselves so we can move forward from that.
Absolutely. That's why I wanted to really get back on this season, because we do have free will. We all have a choice, whether we know right or wrong or not. We have a choice, and because that we have seen that things can change. Things can change. Every day counts.
We have the power. We're co-creators, and we have the power to change anything that we have. If something is not going the way we want it to go, do not give in to it. We have the power to co-create and bring whatever we need to bring into our lives. So it's important to remember that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of, I wanted to speak on the energy of love. And I feel that a lot of people may not be feeling that.
Well, it's the anxiety that's going out there. We're all empaths. We all can feel energy. And it's hard to feel the love if there's a lot of hate out there too. It's just deciphering what it is and not to give in to the fear of the hate. And when things aren't going our way or happening our way, is to just kind of put on the brakes, reanalyze a little bit, like, what's going on in my life? Why is things happening the way it is? What do I need to do to change things? And bring more peace into your life that way. By doing that, you're going to see that things will start to change, and you do that change for you.
Yes. That's a very great thing that you brought up, because there is a lot of illusions of confusion and chaos and things of that nature. What have the things, and you've made many tools for others to get into alignment, but what do you feel that you do that works for you to realign and feel the energy of love, feel the energy of source?
Silas Shadabaka? Okay. No. What I do is I see Christine Pegg going like this. So it's centering yourself. It's focusing. Like you said, you were hearing the music. I was playing the Native American music with the flutes and the drums in the background. That centers myself. I always use affirmations, and I use affirmations in my healing. And I always use the words I am in every affirmation. And I am is very strong. It means God within ourselves. So when I need to center myself, I normally put some music in the background, and I use the words I am that I am, or I am one with the universe. If I'm not feeling well, I am healthy and well. If I'm feeling kind of alone or depressed, I use I am love. If I'm feeling anxiety and stress, I am at peace. These are the affirmations, and I even put together a whole series of affirmation recordings that go with all the things that I was saying. But that's how I center and balance. And normally I take time to go to the mountains. It's very important for me. That's why, I live here by the ocean, so there's no mountains in Florida, so I make sure to head to the mountains, and that's how I kind of balance myself too, as well. Outdoors, nature.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a lot of things that people can do if they're, why does it seem like you're so peaceful? Why does it, seem like you're so centered? And I think some of the aspects of self-love and being in love with self, is these boundaries and taking that time, that non-negotiable of
Yeah, I may be centered here and now, but if you ask my kids, Dad's not centered. So,
yes,
they see the other side of me, and they're all grown up, but they see that Dad's not centered, but
right. And that is a misconception, and I get that asked a lot, and I go, I do have my moments, and
okay.
it's when I let that that ego, the identity that I think that I am, that the unreal me that I have thought this whole time is really me. I let take the wheel. It lets me see through fear and things of that nature.
Well, it's part of growth. And, when I look back at my life 20, 30 years ago and how much I have changed, my nationality, I'm a Sicilian Puerto Rican. So you could tell, well, I was really hot-headed when I was younger and lost my temper a lot when I was younger and got in many fights in school. But throughout the years, I have mellowed, and could have been the 2 marriages and stuff and all that, but now I have mellowed in life and things are just kind of going, I'm where I need to be. And I think it's because of spirituality came into my life. I kind of let go and let God. And by doing that,
I left and then it caught me back in.
everything's just started to come in, where I started to heal people and I started to feel more centered, and I feel like a different person than I used to be. And people who knew me for like 20, 30 years ago, and they just, they see a different person here, because I wasn't a channel, I wasn't a medium, I was your average Joe, so to say. And I just kind of, where I'm at today is just a completely different place.
Yes. We all have that side of us, and that shadowy ego side of us, the identity that we think that we have. It's the one we've only knew. We feel that we are our past experiences.
Our past experience are who we are, because that's who makes us who we are today.
You know?
And always, it never changed the past. Past is the past. You always look forward to the future, and you learn from the past. And what you learn from the past, you move forward from here on. And don't worry too much about the future. The future will be here in no time. Worry about today. What are you going to do today? Take baby steps, and then the future will be here in no time. And don't worry about the past, because you can't change. Just learn from the past.
Yes.
And that's
absolutely. We can never change it. And the only thing that we can create is this nowness.
There you go.
When there's very nowness, and I think that is lost on a lot of people. This very moment, we're either seeing through the lens of the past, or
I feel people are starting to see, they're starting to find themselves now, and they're starting to see the nowness. And the world is changing. You notice how the government's saying they're UFOs now?
Yes.
Coming out. Pretty soon we're going to meet your ET pretty soon. Once the government starts to acknowledge stuff like that, they're just kind of preparing everybody, getting everyone prepared. And but that's how I, in my book, the first book I wrote, Is There More to Life Than What We Know? I talk about extraterrestrials. I talk about how the time will come when the world will know about extraterrestrials, that we are their seed, that we are, we're seeded. The earth was seeded within. There are brothers. We're from the same lineage of extraterrestrials. And I teach that in my first book, and all that's going to come together and everything. And that's how the world is changing. And our eyes are opening. Our third eye is opening, everywhere eyes opening. And that's where fear comes into. And that's why there's a lot of fear. But things are going to balance out. Things are going to start to be okay.
Yes. Fear of the unknown. We're fixated on the data of, again, the past data, past experience. And that's what a thought is, a recycled experience. And the nowness, there is no thinking involved. It's being,
True.
Yeah. And so how was it for you when you started, you were mentioning that, regular Joe, and we all have these beautiful gifts of God that gave with us. When did you start noticing that? When did you start?
Well, my gifts came out throughout the years. It's in my DNA. It's on my Spanish side of the family. And what happened is I used to see spirits as a child, but I didn't know they were spirits until when my grandmother passed. When I saw her, I realized I was seeing ghosts. I shut down completely. in my early 20s, a movie came on, Out on a Limb with Shirley MacLaine. And I was watching that with my ex-wife at the time. And when she went to go see a channel in England, and this channel was channeling messages to her, and a light bulb went off. I says, I want to learn that. I want to become a channel. All of a sudden, out of the blue, I wanted to become a channel. So I had somebody take me out. Her name is Marilyn Raphael here in Palm Beach County. She took me under her wing and she groomed me. And I started channeling my guides of the collective. And for those of you who are here, might have been to my channeling classes where I actually go into trance. I'll sound Irish in a minute when Patrick comes through, and how my guides will talk to you and give you direction in life and help you. As I was bringing my guides in, loved ones was starting to sneak in. And when I channel, I'm normally blindfolded. I don't, you know, and I don't know, I just keep myself blindfolded. So I started bringing these loved ones in for people and reading the loved ones. So at this time, the show John Edwards Crossing Over started to come on TV around this time. And I was watching him, no blindfold, out there with the studio audience. I said, okay, I could maybe do that. Let me take this blindfold off. And then I asked my guides, I really maybe just step to the side. Let me be Joe. And let me bring them through on my own without me channeling. So, you know, I brought small groups to the house and I started developing slowly and slowly. What started off with maybe 5 or 10 people, there were like 75 in my living room one time. And then I took the guts to go to these New Age stores to see if they would host me. This is probably way back in the mid 90s. And from there, I started to grow and I see my book being held up by Jill. Thank you, Jill. and I started to grow more and more and started writing books. And what the biggest change was, okay, we're talking about extraterrestrials. Here we go. You know me, I don't talk about this stuff on my show when we're there, but I'm going to go into detail. I was in the Ocala forest back in the 90s. It was right after my divorce, and I went to a Native American powwow. It's kind of in a place, a lost place. And I met this woman who just came up to me, and she said, if I could trust her and believe in what she says, I will be on an incredible journey. At this time, I was just learning to become a channel. So I said, okay. Well, we went to this private place, and she sat down. She started talking about the lost city of Atlantis, about how the human DNA code has been scrambled and we're missing these DNA strands. Then she said, okay, Joe, I am extraterrestrial. And if you could trust me, I'm going to give you the DNA that is missing in your code to replace it. And you'll become a stronger channel, a medium, a healer. You'll be on TV, on radio, writing books and all that. I was like 23 or 24 years old at this time when she was telling me all this stuff. And she started describing all my kids. I have 4 children. So she started to describe each one of them, about the divorce I was going through, about my life, and then about my guides. She told me who my guides were and what their purpose are, why they're working with me. And she drew out these symbols for me. They call it light language. It's in this book here. Is there more to life than what we know? And the symbols, I have them on cards now. But if you can see what the light language looks like a little bit, there we go.
Yes.
They hold energy to them. You put your left palm on there and you absorb the energy, and it's for a balance of the mind, body, and soul. She told me to use these symbols for the rest of my life. It'll keep me healthy for my mind, body, and soul. And I've been using them ever since my mid-20s. And here I'm 57 and, you know, I'm still going at it because of those cards. So.
Yes.
But that's how my journey of my spirituality journey went, to meeting. Her name was Deborah. That's all I knew. She told me she's from a race called the Fijians, and she described what they look like. And it's in chapter 5 of my first book, the whole story about how I met the Fijians and how they put me in all there. You asked, there you go.
Yes. And that's a beautiful, speaking of, you know, the energy of love. I have a very dear friend, Elaine Leonard, and she shares a lot of light language.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that was the light language I had. And when the mediumship came in again, I had it when I was a child. I shut down when I saw my grandmother after she passed, but my cousin passed away, Joey. He was Joe LoBrutto like me. He was like 4 years older than me. He passed away of a heart attack. He was only 34 years old when he died. And he left behind his wife and two infants. It was just an 8-month-old, and Cameron was not even 2. And I remember driving home after the funeral. I was angry with God at the time. And I was sitting at a red light, and all of a sudden I heard his voice. And I turned to the passenger side of my car. He was sitting there saying, "I need to talk to Mary Lou. You need to talk to her for me." I thought I was going crazy. A few days later, I was watching TV or a movie, and then all of a sudden he appears right next to me. "You haven't talked to Mary Lou yet. You need to talk to Mary Lou." So finally I got the courage to do that. And I started telling Mary Lou about things that her husband was saying. I was right. And I wasn't practicing mediumship at all at that time. And she started giving me all this confirmation. And my cousin Joey, he's the one who opened up Heaven Gate for me. And ever since then, I was that type of medium where if I would go to the store, I would see loved ones chasing everybody, chasing me, talk to this, talk to that. So I had to learn to turn myself off and on and off switch. One late night, I was watching Beetlejuice. And you go Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice 3 times. I said, how about if I use that as an on and off switch? I'll have everybody say their first name 3 times. Once I hear your name 3 times, I'll hear your loved ones. When I'm done, thank you very much. That's my off switch. So they don't bombard me anymore. When I go out in public and everything, I'm shut down. I got control. And now when I'm ready to open, I will open up to talk to people and share their loved ones.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
do you want to take some calls in, or?
Yes, I definitely do. Let me.
Before we do that, I'd like to get everybody set up, though. And before you pick anyone, everyone in the queue, even on Facebook out there, we all have the power to speak to our loved ones. You really don't need a medium. I always teach heaven is within our heart. This is where you're going to hear them. It's not a voice from out here. It's a voice from in here. So when I hear your loved ones, I hear them from in here. Now we're going to create what's called a loving bridge to heaven. And you're the one. How a medium works is you're the one who brings them here, and I'm able to tap into them through you. So I want you to visualize, invite these loved ones, tell them it's very important that they come through for you. Tell them that please tell Joseph things about themselves. Share special memories you had with them in life.
Dad, tell Joseph or Grandma, tell Joseph.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a caller. And I'm also a direct dial for those of you who are meeting me for the first time. A direct dial means I'm able to connect with anybody by knowing their relationship to you. So like mom, dad, brother, sisters, no name, no descriptions. I want them to tell me their name. I want them to give me a description of who they are. But you can say, I want to speak Joseph. I want to speak to my dad. Joseph, I want to speak to my mom. That's all I need to know. All right, Dave, I'll let you go ahead and pick whoever.
Yes, absolutely.
What Christine does on the show now, she sees everybody in the queue and she writes on a piece of paper and she puts it in a bowl now and she goes picks it. So, she doesn't feel like she's playing favors anymore.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Michelle Reddington, is there something that you would like to?
Yes, I'd like to speak with my dad, Martin Joseph.
No names.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Hi, Michelle. How are you? This is the first time I'm meeting you?
Yes, it is.
And where are you calling in from?
Calling in. I am located presently in Ashland, Oregon.
In Oregon. Okay. Good. Your picture's gone. Okay. There you are. Good. Like your hat.
Oh, thank you. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And you like to hear from your father, you said?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, I don't know why, I have somebody walking in circles for some reason. Did anybody have dementia or anything like that? But
my mom.
in circles. Okay. Is she passed or alive?
She's still alive, but she had a struggle. She was staying with me in San Francisco last summer, and
I have a walking
she's
in
alive.
Circles. Was she walking in circles or like want to get out and couldn't get out and was just very frustrated?
She was well, she must be frustrated. She was forcefully medevaced to Florida from San Francisco and is being kept under emergency
All right.
temporary guardianship against her will. So she's probably frustrated.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is your father talking about your mom then. Okay. All right, Michelle, this is very important for what he has to say, is because it's hard for you to see your mom going through this, but it's best because she's not there all the way, and she'll hurt herself if she was alone, and she's not thinking clearly. She's even a part that she'll walk away from the house and get herself lost. She's at that part. So what you had to do, you had to do, and your father's just giving you his support about everything. And he just wants to let you know that it's okay. All right. I'm grabbing my heart for some reason, and it's unexpected, very quick. So is this dad on here? Unexpected, or anything to do with his lungs?
It was unexpected because the last time I was up here in this part of Oregon, my dog got hit by a car and she survived. And while she was recouping up here in the Medford area, my dad passed away. So I just dropped my camping and my car and I flew back to the East Coast. So it was, I mean, it wasn't a surprise he had COPD, but you know, I love him and I didn't get a chance to say goodbye.
All right. So your dad's telling me his lungs, his chest area, but then was it his heart though that they gave in at the very end?
It could have been because, you know, with COPD, you can't breathe. So it's your heart. Yeah.
All right. All right. I'm seeing a medal. Your dad's showing me this medal. Is there a saint medal or anything like that, by the way?
Not that I know of. There could
It's
be.
a
My
gold-
stepmother could have it.
It's like a gold medal. It's like a circle gold medal, like Saint Joseph or something like that.
Wow. I don't know of it.
Okay, that's fine. The church, was there a church or a service at the church or anything like that for him?
No, there wasn't. I mean, he just was cremated straight away, and then there wasn't a service for a few months. But then there was, you know, at some church
something
somewhere.
like Saint Joseph, Saint Mark's, or something like that. I'm hearing.
His middle name is Joseph.
His middle name is Joseph. Okay, I'm getting like Saint Mark, Saint Joseph, and all this stuff. So, but his middle name was Joseph. All right, who's the M like Michael or Mark then?
His name is Martin Joseph, and I'm Michelle, and then my sister's name is Jennifer. But you know, yeah.
Okay, so it's Martin Joseph. No, I was just getting the okay, right, that's where I'm at. Okay. Who was in the service as well? Was he ever in the Navy?
He was in he was in the service. He was in the military. Yeah, he was during the Korea. Yeah.
Okay. Did he have a military service? Because I'm seeing a flag.
No, he didn't.
I'm seeing. All right. Let's go to someone else real quick. I have a flag who had a military service and somebody who was in the Navy. Could this be a grandfather, his father, or something like that? Or an uncle, his brother?
I don't know.
I'm hearing the song Anchors Away, and it's very strong, Anchors Away, and all that. So I feel like it's somebody who's in the Navy, who's crossed over. During World War II, probably. It's probably a little older than your father. Does it make sense right off the bat?
Do they have anything that they want to say or share?
Have to identify, and once I identify the person, and then I can go on there. Who's the J like? Who else is J like John or Joe besides your dad's middle name?
My sister Jennifer.
All right, what about male though?
Jim. His father had his name was Jim. My grandfather.
All right, your grandfather Jim. Did he ever serve in the military?
I'm not sure.
All right. All right. Let's suppose that it's Jim for some reason. I'm seeing an old collection, like a stamp collection, or something that's worth a lot of money. Like either could be bills, it could be old money, like paper money, or not mainly like coins, but paper, and a book type thing. Doesn't make sense, huh? Anybody work for the post office?
My cousin Debbie, she's a postmaster in Pennsylvania.
Did she lose someone close to her?
A
father?
No, not yet. We've had a lot of
Somebody
loss
who works
though.
for the post office, and there's something about an old stamp collection or a book that has money in it and stuff. And I'm wondering if maybe it was somebody who works for the post office has this that I'm having.
Oh, how interesting.
Sometimes we become messengers. I'm just wondering if that's the person that we're thinking of. All right. All right, so let me just go back and reverse a little bit. Your mom had the dementia. She's the one who's kind of up the wall, so to say, where your dad's just saying it's okay. Everybody did the right thing. He's telling me that he had problems with his lungs and he had a hard time breathing as well. Something about the woods and the owls and something like that. Do you have anything with owls or anything?
The only owls that I know of is that from the Bohemian Club, Bohemian Grove, their symbol is the owl.
And
You know, and
what meaning is that for you?
I don't know. I'm the first woman inside from my union inside to serve inside an exclusive male dominated place for, like they made the decision to bomb Hiroshima there. Like, it's usually mostly old money, but
Oh, okay. All right. So I was talking about money a little bit ago, old money, like money in a thing. We're talking about the service. You never served in the service though, right?
not that I know of. I mean, I don't know, so I'm not sure.
Yourself personally.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. All right. It might be for someone else on this stuff that I'm getting. It's like a post office type thing too. That's tied to this. So the only thing I could feel about your, like I said, with your dad is just he's looking after your mom. I think your mom. Is there Jenny or something like that as well?
Yeah, my sister Jennifer.
All right. Is Jennifer taking care of your mom at all?
Yes.
All right. Tell Jennifer to be patient, that everything's going to be okay. I never predict death or stuff, but I feel that your mom is not too far from there. And I feel that your father is watching over her and will be there for her. And try to see as much as you can.
Okay.
It's very important. But tell Jennifer she's doing a wonderful job. And your father's saying how much he loves her. And he loves you too as well. The owl thing, did you ever go camping or anything like that in the woods?
Yeah, I love camping. As children, yes. As children, we did.
Anything to do with a hoot owl as children? Camping in the woods. Your dad shows me now you and Jen camping, and maybe something with in the woods.
I don't know. No, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Just that, yeah, as kids, I don't know, but.
All right, but you did go. You went camping with your dad. So your dad's showing you your sister. Do you have a brother as well?
No, I'm the oldest of the three girls.
Okay. All right. So there's three of you. All right. So she's talking about the three of you going camping, and he just wants you to remember those special times as well. Maybe you have the redwoods or anything like that too.
The redwoods. I mean, I'm in California. My family. I'm Philadelphia Irish, but my dad is first generation. So, So when I was thinking about could have been my grandfather because he came over from Ireland, but the redwoods. I'm here on this coast, but I could only say that symbolically, looking at the trees that have their roots in the ground and raise their arms to heaven, to the sun, and that we can count the rings of their lives, but how we find solace in things, and maybe that the I don't know.
So
I'll have to meditate on that.
Redwoods are very old trees, so maybe that's his way of mentioning. And this is something that you do, counting the souls of the trees, and that is his way. I'm talking in code with the redwoods, but he wanted me to mention the big tree, the redwoods, the wisdom trees, tree spirits as well. And
Beautiful.
I think that's it's probably most likely a guide of yours that's coming through, and that wants to do Native American, most likely, that I feel that's coming through as well. And talking about the tree spirits, nature spirits, and how, and especially in the water, things twinkle in the water for you, the water spirits too, as well. Okay. All right. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you very much. Many continued blessings to you. And as you give, may that come back to you 10,000 fold and more for the peace that you could bring. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. And I had a Facebook request on her mother, and also recurring trying to get in touch with her during dreams.
Dreams are the best time to get in touch because we're in REM sleep. This is the best way for spirit communication. When our mind is busy during the day, if we're working or we have things going around in the house, it's when our mind gets still. And when our mind is still, right before we fall asleep completely, we're in that REM sleep, spirit communication is possible then. And this is when they speak to us, and this is where we hear. Best movie to describe that is with Bruce Willis, The Sixth Sense, and where he thought he was alive. He didn't know he was a spirit. He was talking to his wife while she was sleeping, and the wife was answering back to him because she can hear him. So that's how the person that was on Facebook that made that comment about hearing in the dreams, that's when they come. They come in the dreams for that reason, because you're able to hear them. It's important when you dream about them and you hear from them, try to write down what you heard, because if you fall back to sleep again, you're going to forget the next morning. Sometimes you'll even forget that you dreamt about them. But if you kind of write down after you've dreamed and you kind of woke up and you're not dreaming anymore, and it's still there, that memory, write everything that happened. And then when you go back to sleep again, you could read it in the morning. So that way you won't forget.
Yes, thank you, Tina. Thank you. I hope that answered your question. And if we have another one, if Christina, did you have anything that you wanted to ask of Joseph?
Always.
Hi, Christina.
He always surprises me, but I got a complex life. So biological father, I was adopted, and I'm having a hard time finding biological. Birth mother says she doesn't remember, and I'm on Ancestry, but I'm just overwhelmed. So I was just curious if you had a name, or in the past you've given me little, but you're like, yeah, you gave me some, but I just kind of want a name, just because, you know, I'm in my 50s, I'm not getting any younger, and I would just really like to visually see him. I mean, through a picture.
I don't know why John Henry comes in mind.
I just saw that movie. No.
Did you just see that movie, John Henry?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I have no. Henry's not of any of the names that I found, but it's always I've talked to second and third cousins. I can always throw it out there and see.
Yeah, or even John. You're watching John Henry. I probably was tapping into your mom who's passed and saying what you're doing. How's your swing? She's talking about. What does that mean?
Is my mom?
Yeah, she's talking about how's your swing. Did you rough it in the thing and lost your ball or something like that? What does that mean?
That like a month ago, my brother took me golfing, and he was just like, this is not going to be good. And I'm like, sure it is. And yeah, it wasn't good. But yeah, I lost like 4 balls in this little heel thing. I don't know. That's
what she's talking about. You're golfing and you lost your balls.
and I just say, my brother was like, what? And I'm like, no one's here to see this. And here you tell me this, that my brother's going to love that.
Mom saw it.
Yeah. Wow.
So you were with your brother. So probably that's why she just needed to do that. There's something about a bird. There was something about a bird too in that outing. Did a bird steal something like food or something like that, or a duck or something like? Got up and just grabbed something? We
ran across ducks, but they were just mean ducks. Like
they came chasing you?
Chasing my granddaughter. So I was like, no. Oh my God.
So your mom's talking about the mean birds.
That was all the same time. Yep.
Okay, it was during the same time. Okay, yep. So your mom was there in that thing, and she's talking about the ducks chasing you,
wow.
your granddaughter. Did your granddaughter pick up a stick?
Of course.
and just kind of whacked him.
She was like chasing him with it. I'm like, no, you can't run with sticks, you know.
There you go. That's what she's showing me. Just running the stick afterwards.
Oh my gosh. Wait till I tell my brother. That's awesome. But I'm kind of embarrassed that she saw that.
Yeah, you can't keep anything away. I think she's laughing. She just wanted to bring that up. And tell your husband to get over it. Does that make sense too?
Yeah.
He says he's overreacting. Just tell him to go take a ride in the car.
Oh yeah. That is like, yeah, we just, because you know, I live in Florida, but we're now in Pennsylvania. So we had to come up for a funeral, but it's like a ride in the car, no.
Were you guys arguing on the way?
Yeah, because you know,
okay, there you go.
Quarantine time. Driving in the car for 2 days.
So that's why she's talking about your husband take a drive. So maybe that means driving. He is taking a drive and then arguing and stuff. Okay, yeah. So she's talking about your trip.
Yeah. He told me he needed quarantine for 2 weeks from me, and I said okay. But wow.
So you can tell him your mom knows that too.
Jeez, you know, Joseph, he was that skeptical person going, not going to happen, and then you read him and he lost it. Yeah. So it was awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I appreciate you, and I thank you for coming back on again.
No problem. I'll be watching. Thank you. Okay, Joseph, quick. I have a question. I forgot that. I don't know if I can. Can I quick?
Go ahead.
My life thing. What's going to, you know, because I am torn right now between all different ways and what I want to do. And
ask me specifically. What's your question?
It's going to sound like, will I pursue the book?
Writing the book?
Yeah.
It's almost like a yes and no thing. In your mind, it's all there and you're ready to go, but physically to put it down on paper, it's like,
That's it. I don't have the discipline. I don't.
That's it. So to finish the book, you have to have the discipline to finish the book, but it's all there. Maybe getting a ghostwriter for yourself that you can just kind of just talk and let that person do the writing.
And that's crazy too, because my husband offered and my cousin is an author, and she said, I can do the ghostwriting. And I thought,
there you go.
No, but I should take, because I don't want to bug anybody, but maybe I should take them up on it.
It's a good start. You know, when you start to see a few chapters written, that will probably get you the go ahead going, all right, I'm going to finish this, and you'll get excited.
Yeah.
So I would do the ghostwriting. So
okay.
You had read some of my books too, I believe.
Oh yeah. And I had cards and everything. Yep.
Yeah. So okay.
Yep. You're awesome.
Take your cousin up, let her do the ghostwriting, and then when you feel you can take the reins from there, then you take the reins and finish the book for yourself.
Oh, okay. All right. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, Christine. Tell your husband, chill.
I gave him his whiskey. He's good.
Oh, there you go.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's beautiful. And I like that because they can also bond more over the creation of that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have someone on, more friends on Facebook, and Jane wanted to know if there was any messages from her father.
Yeah, the hard part on Facebook is like a blank piece of paper. When I give messages, I have to hear the voice of the person.
Yes.
And when I hear their voice, their energy comes through for me. And that's where, or the person's got to be in front of me physically, and I could feel their energy off. But through emails and Facebooks and stuff like that, I just could never do that.
Yes.
What is her first name?
Jane.
Okay, Jane. I'm going to give it a shot. Okay. Yeah. It's not my forte. It's not my best thing, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Absolutely.
Jane, what I'm feeling is that somebody has to say they're sorry for some reason. And it's probably because of things that happened when he was alive that he wishes he could have a redo. and someone who's been through some problems with things, and just wants to let you know that he's in a good place, that he doesn't feel that pain that he had before. So without hearing that voice or anything, I'm going to go just give her that message and see if she can resonate with it then. So she can respond on Facebook and you can read back, later on.
Absolutely.
Unless you know who she is and or the history of her.
We'll definitely loop around and follow back up a little bit later. And I wanted to take one from here that's with us tonight. And hi, Jill. How are you?
We got two Jills. Which one?
Yes. Fuzz Tech. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, you have to unmute her, right? She's still muted, Dave.
Yes.
Jill, can you unmute yourself, or just you have to unmute her?
Yeah, she has to unmute herself.
Okay, there you go.
Yes.
Hi, Jill. Jill's a regular too. Can you hear me, Jill? I don't hear your voice. No, I don't hear you at all. There's no speaker. Okay. She says 1 minute.
Yes.
While she's getting this, I know Jill has some background too. She's been on been calling in for a few weeks on the show, and Christine, my assistant, that you interviewed her, and Jill gives Christine and I credit for saving her life. That we both did some healing for her, and she survived. She's a heart attack survivor. About a week ago, or maybe like 2 weeks ago, she had a massive heart attack, and I'll let her share the story if it happens. If I still can't hear you, Jill. She's running around.
Yeah.
Let's take Juanita over here.
Yeah.
The mic is open. Is this the Juanita from last night that didn't have a voice?
Yes.
Say something. Now you have voice. It's funny. Jill doesn't have a voice today, but you have the voice tonight.
Finally. That was awesome last night.
Okay, yeah, because last night we couldn't get a voice like how we can't get Jill right now. And so I had to read you just right off because your father just jumped in and just needed to say that. So I don't know, can you recap a little bit last night a little bit? Because I know that was a little.
I had written down on the paper when Christine had said, if you want to talk to him, write down. And I wrote down, Dad, are you proud of me? And I hope I get a visitation from you tonight. And when you said that, I lost it.
Yeah.
And it was his birthday, and I didn't even tell him happy birthday. I was so excited.
That's okay. He knew it was his birthday anyway, and that's why he came through for you. It's his birthday present for you.
He was like
coming through. So, and he needed to come through. And I know you wanted to talk so bad last night, and we couldn't get your microphone going. But he came through anyway for you. And we saw your expressions on your face.
It was amazing.
You wanted to hear from someone. Who would you like to hear from today?
My dad or my granny. I've lost a lot of people in the last 9 years, so I have a lot of people.
Okay. All right. With your dad, sometimes things happen so fast and out of control that sometimes we wish we could have spent more time. Our lives get a little busy, and then we regret that we don't spend enough time with that person and lost time. He's telling me, they speak through me. He wanted me to use the word sweetie with you. And he said, sweetie, it is okay. And you always wondered if he was proud of you. And he says, I'm always proud of you. There was never a time that I was never proud of you. He says that it's wonderful things that you're doing right now. Do you have a son, by the way? Okay, he's talking about your boy, about your son on there. Anyone play soccer or anything like that?
My son played football.
Football. The American football, then, that's fine. Okay, all right, so your dad's talking about your son playing ball or football as well. And I'm just feeling his sense of humor is just very outgoing as well, your father. And he just said he was just too young to go, and he wished he could have been here. I have somebody here who struggled too in life also. Do you know anybody who had addictions or drinking or anything like that who struggled through life? Who's this person? Is this your father or is this someone else? Your
My
father.
dad.
All right. So this is what he's saying. I struggled through life with my addictions, my drinking. This is why I wasn't there as much because of this. I'm sorry, sweetheart. My Juanita, he's singing, Juanita, how I love you, how I love you. That's the words I'm hearing in my mouth. He just wants to let you know, Juanita, is that because of his drinking, he wasn't himself and he missed a lot. And if he could do it all over again, he would. And he wants to let you know that he wants to say he's sorry, but he promises from here on that he'll always be watching you and looking after you. Butterflies for you. And that's what he's showing me. Anything in the backyard? Do you have a pool or anything that in the backyard?
I just recently moved from my home.
Did your other home have a pool?
Yeah.
Okay. He's talking about something about the pool in your other house then. Did you do something in a memorial back there or something like that?
No.
Anything to do with butterflies?
I always had a lot of butterflies around, like, because I always planted. I always had gardens, like like a
So
vegetable garden.
around the pool area, did you have a garden there with the butterflies? That's where he's bringing me to. So if you just moved, he's talking about the old house with the pool. I think that's probably what he knows is the old house with
Yeah.
the pool. So, and now your grandmother, is this on your father's side?
My mom's side.
Is your
My-
grandfather passed too on your mom's side?
Yes.
Is he almost like a father to you, your grandfather?
My papa was my mom's side.
Yeah, your mom's side's father.
Yeah.
Like
Well, yeah, her it's her stepfather, but he was always
Oh.
my papa.
Okay, I have your papa, your grandfather, who's like a father for you.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
for you as you were growing up,
Yep.
and was always there, and you were inspired because of him. And I take it he's still alive, or has he passed? All right.
He's passed.
So then we're going to bring Papa through then as well. I think your father is thanking him for being there for you when you're young, when you're in school, and things that your father missed in life. This man, Papa, was there, and he's thanking him. And he's saying to your dad, it was an honor to be there, that he always felt that you were his daughter always too. And just want to let you know that thank you for being there and having him as part of the family. So he needs to come through too.
That's awesome. I never knew he likes me like that.
He's coming through for you right now.
Hmm.
Did you ever do any school activities like chorus or anything like that?
I wasn't good at sports or anything.
Like
I was
chorus,
good at-
singing
No.
in chorus?
I sing in the car.
You sing in the car. Okay, I have you singing. Okay, maybe this is your dad talking about you singing. Why is the song Footloose in my head? I don't know if there's a special memory with your dad or the movie Footloose, but something Footloose. Footloose. Okay, we'll let that go.
My grandmother had one leg.
It could be her coming through. If it's one leg, it could be Footloose because she has one leg. Maybe that's their way of interpreting too. Is this all on your mother's side too? Your grandmother with the one leg?
Yeah.
So, and this is anybody with like Maria or anything like that too? Someone with the M name? Mary, Maria, female M.
No. Savannah
Yeah,
Marie, but that's my cousin.
No, if you have to
Here.
think about it too hard, don't worry about it. So, was there a ring that was lost that was your grandmother's and then found again?
I wear her ring.
Okay.
I have it on right now.
Cool. Then she wants to talk about the ring. Did you ever misplace it at one time?
I had to take it to the jeweler to get it fixed.
Okay, I had it out of your possession for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so she's talking about the ring that you're wearing, and you're wearing it right now. So she just wants to let you know that she knows you're wearing a ring.
And it was my dad's sister's ring also, so it's a special.
Okay, so all right. Well, thank you, Juanita. I'm glad we got to talk today.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Dave, got to see a little me in action.
Yes, thank you for that so much. You know, we can be the channel of love so much more than we think that we can. And overall, what do you feel that you would like to say when we return to love, if you will? We transfer, what would be the overall message that everyone wants to give back to everyone here in this form?
But, you know, the key message is love. The promise book I wrote, The Metaphysical Teaching of Jesus, teaches all about love and how we're powerful beings and how we are co-creators. And the true essence of who we are, if we go in deep, is love. And if we could stay in that love vibration, we can move forward in our lives and deal with everyday things. So that's what I could share with everyone. Love is very powerful.
Yes.
We feel ourselves slipping away from that, just center yourself, and you can get back into that. Okay.
Yes. They're not of this world, so they're not a part of these images of fear, chaos, and confusion.
Yeah, our loved ones, they step aside. Who they were, if there was a person who went through struggling, who had addictions and things like that, they're not that person where they are in heaven. It's like we're in a movie and we're in a play of life. Life is a play. And after we pass, we see our life. We see the movie that we were in, but we're no longer in that movie anymore. We're just spectators. We're just viewers. And we don't feel that hurt. We don't feel that pain in the afterlife. When we say we're an image of God, we become that image of God when we leave the soul. And our soul, our love, is the image of God. And when we return to our home, this is when we return to our higher selves, our God-like selves, which is very important. And that's where there's no love, prejudice, and everyone is in harmony there. Until you come back here again, and you got to do it all over again. You reincarnate, you got to go through all life lessons, the pain, the suffering, and we wonder, why do we choose it? But you know, if we're in a place where there's no challenges and nothing but love, you know, we want to learn from experiences and lessons. So we decide to come here on this earth plane just to learn, and that's why. So.
Yes, absolutely. If you know, we all join by the minds, and we do have the free will. We can be the love. This is what everyone's teaching, and the message of healing, to be of that same mind. It's why we sometimes have those premonitions that we walk into rooms and we pick up the energy and we just know what's going on. You know, we're all that powerful. We're all that love, that oneness.
Right.
That we are. We're not bodies. We're that.
And it's hard to remember while we're here.
Yes.
That's who we are. Well, I want to thank you for this interview.
Yes.
And being on. And I have to thank Christine when I talk to her again.
Absolutely. I love
sending
Christine.
you my way. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we're on every Wednesday night. Night of hope, love, and healing every Wednesday. So,
yes, absolutely. If anyone that's watching right now, please, if you want to get in touch with Joseph, you can go right to his Facebook page directly, or also to his website. Okay,
It's
Our Journey.
ourjourneyoflife.com
Yes,
or psychicmediumjoseph.com, either one.
absolutely. You can purchase many of the healing tools that he has available.
Jill's holding my book again. There we go. Yep.
Absolutely. So I want to thank everyone all around the world that joined us on Facebook and right here on the Zoom as well. I hope you'll all join me next week as well. We're going to be boosting our immunity spiritually, mentally, and physically. And so I look forward to that. And again, I am so grateful for you sharing your gifts and your energy of love with us, Joseph.
Thank you very much, Namaste.
Thank you, everyone. Have
Thank
a
you,
great
everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.